I never intended to say it out loud. Not like that. Not with those exact words. But once it slipped free, there was no taking it back. It was a gray, dull Tuesday, the kind of day that feels quietly sad without any clear reason. Malik, my husband, was upstairs in his office. He was supposedly working from home, though lately that mostly meant hiding away. I had just finished cleaning the kitchen, and the silence in the house was suffocating. It wasn't new. It had been growing heavier for months, maybe even years. The kind of silence that presses down on you, making everything feel more distant, more broken. I reached for my phone and called my sister. I needed a lifeline, someone who wouldn't tell me to be grateful, try harder, or count my blessings. I wasn't looking to start drama. I just needed to breathe, to release the weight pressing on my chest. When she answered, I barely said hello. I just poured it all out. I can't keep pretending everything's okay. Her voice softened. What happened? I glanced over my shoulder at the empty hallway. No movement, no signs of life, just the heavy stillness. I leaned against the kitchen counter, feeling the cold surface beneath my palm, and whispered, I don't think I love him anymore. Maybe I never really did. Maybe I married him because it felt safe, and now I feel trapped. There was silence on the other end, and that silence crushed me even more. My voice faltered but kept going on its own, spilling words I hadn't even fully thought through yet. I regret marrying him. I regret it so much. That's the moment everything shattered. I didn't know Malik was behind the door. I didn't see him come down the stairs quietly, maybe to grab a coffee, maybe to come kiss me on the head and retreat back upstairs. I'll never know why he was there or how long he had been listening. All I heard was a sound, not a crash, not a gasp, just the faintest shift in the air, like the moment right before glass tips over the edge of a table. I turned slowly, and there he was. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He didn't say a word. He just stood there, frozen, eyes wide and glassy, pain blooming across his face like someone had punched him in the stomach. Then, without another sound, he turned and walked away. Slow, controlled, silent. My phone slipped from my trembling hands, clattering to the floor. My sister's voice called out through the speaker, asking if I was okay. But my voice was gone, stuck somewhere deep inside me. The silence that filled the room afterward was so thick it felt like the walls themselves were closing in, pressing down on my chest. He didn't come back down that night. The next morning, his side of the bed was empty and cold. I walked into the closet, half empty now. His favorite jacket was gone. His passport missing. The drawer where he kept his watch sat open and bare. Then I saw the envelope, resting on the kitchen table like a quiet bomb waiting to explode. My hands hovered over it, hesitant, as if it might burn me. When I finally opened it, his handwriting was calm, almost too calm. The words stabbed through me. I heard what you said. I don't know how long you felt that way, but it's clear now that I've been living a lie. I won't force someone to be with me out of guilt or comfort. I deserve to be loved back. I'm staying with my brother for now. Don't call me. I need time. I read those words over and over, as if repeating them could rewind time. But nothing could erase the weight of what I'd done. Not the silence. Not his absence. It was a realization that I had hurt someone who, despite his flaws, still cared, still tried. Maybe not in the ways I wanted, not with flowers, romantic dinners, or long conversations. But he was still here. Until now. The truth hit me hard. I didn't regret marrying Malik because he was a bad man. I regretted it because I never told him what I needed. I bottled it all up, expecting him to just know, and then resented him when he didn't. Now I was left alone. Days slipped by, then a week. I kept hoping he'd come back, that he'd cool off, that we'd talk. But nothing, no message, no call. One night, I drove to his brother's house. I sat in my car for nearly half an hour before I found the courage to knock. His brother opened the door and silently stepped aside. Malik was on the couch, looking different. Not angry, just tired. I didn't expect you to come, he said quietly. I didn't expect you to leave, I replied. He gestured for me to sit, and I sank down, clutching my hands like they were the last pieces of dignity I had left. I didn't mean what I said. Yes, you did, He cut in softly, not cold, but calm. I was venting. I was overwhelmed. He nodded slowly. I know what I heard, and I've been asking myself 100 times, how did we get here? That was when I broke. I sat there and cried, not for pity or to manipulate, but because it was all too much. I didn't know how to talk to you. I felt so alone in our marriage. I should have told you instead of saying it to someone else. I heard you, he whispered. He looked away, eyes shining with unshed tears. I wasn't perfect either. I thought I was giving you space, but really, I was disappearing. We sat in silence for a moment. I don't want a divorce, I whispered. I don't want to live unloved, he whispered back. And that was where we left it. No closure, no dramatic reunion, just honesty. We didn't fix everything that night. Healing doesn't come from one conversation. But it was a start, the fragile beginning of something new, the closing of one chapter and the tentative opening of another. And still, to this day, I remember the sound of his footsteps fading away and the crushing silence that followed, a silence full of pain, but also the faintest glimmer of hope.